Hello, and welcome to the third installment of Creatures of Aizere. Today we have another 4 creatures. This time we are starting with the Galkeys. These creatures are mysterious and alien-like and come from an unknown place of origin. They're hard to tame, though aliens such as Afreen, Haynes, and Perry seem to be just fine with them, since they do come from the same planet, though I have not figured out what yet. These creatures that we're drawing today are going to be a lot more complex than they were the last video. A lot more blending in it. And if you will look to the side of your screen, you can see, well, the bottom right corner of your screen, you can see that we now have our little PNGs of me talking. Isn't that fun? You can see that they have a bunch of variation, kinda. You wanna see something fun? Look, I can make it a clown. I can make it a clown. I did. You know what? I'm just gonna keep it like this. Maybe. What do we think? What do you guys think? In the comments, tell me. Do we like the clown Musetta more or regular Musetta? Well, you can see here that I'm going in and adding in all my details. On my grasshopper reference, they had those little like wing-like things, so I put them on. The koala ears I saw were very fluffy, so I made those. You can see that I've taken a lot more creative liberty than I did with the last ones. Here I'm just making the claws, making them look all nice. You can see this creature looks a lot softer than the other ones. It's a lot more unique too with how the back legs are. These back legs were a pain to draw. I did not know what I wanted to do with them, but I felt like I needed to have something more grasshoppery, so I ended up on that. Again, I went in on these. Here I was just messing around and seeing what else I could be playing with. I really love these creatures a lot. They're so adorable for absolutely no reason. They have no right to be this cute. I then went in with coloring, and I was thinking, what about this orange? But then I remembered that later I was going to go in with green. Well, I had already planned to, so I'm like, maybe yellow would look better. So I started going with my this nice lime green that I found. Well, made. Would it be made? I don't know. And started carefully coloring the main parts of it. I was trying to decide how I wanted an ombre to be. So you can see that I'm messing around with that on the legs, leaving some area white, so that I know to have those ombre. You can see here that I'm trying a new technique as well. Instead of having the little lines, I am making them straight, for once. You can see here that, like on the pos lights, I'm also doing an ombre on the tail. It's going to be a very fun ombre, though this one will be blended unlike the pos lights. Again, like last time, I've seen a lot of different things. Well, not a lot, but I've seen amazing feedback on what I've been doing. And I really just appreciate it so, so much. And, oh, that was a misclick. I just wanted to thank you guys again. The art is all beautiful and beautifully done. You guys are amazing and so talented. Here you'll see a little black box that appeared at the top of your screen. It's because my friend had decided to start to text me. And I don't want my texts on the internet. It's because they were texting another friend's name. Trying to contact that other friend, because while recording this, I was on call with one of those friends. It was through a group chat. I didn't want to expose anyone's names, so I just did that. But luckily, you can see here that I've paused, and I've told my friend about what I'm doing, and they're like, oh, oopsie. So I carefully went through with that, and just... I don't remember what I was doing here. Once I start moving again, there we go. I don't know what's going on, I'm sorry. It's glitching on my end. Sorry about this, it looks like my, software was deciding to bug out a bit. I don't know, I'll figure this out soon. I'm pretty sure this didn't happen on any other videos, though. But what I was doing with a bunch of blending and stuff, not a bunch of fun stuff, honestly. You can see here that the product is getting more finished. I don't know why this happened. I'm, again, so deeply, deeply sorry. But I'm gonna just kind of let it play since you have my little thinger. I'll have some, maybe, I don't know. So here you can see a bit more movement. Ooh, we got like 2 frames. Well, luckily this part is nearing its end. I'm so sorry about this. I don't know what's going on. It's probably lagging. Oh, I know why it's lagging. Okay. Well, on to our next one. We have the frostflights. These guys live in the cold. They can chill wherever they go and are loving, but fearful of hurting others due to their cold body temperature. So they rarely are seen among other people. Again, you can see that I'm pausing a bit, but I'm doing something this time, luckily. So I was just going in and making the head, which for some reason, every time I draw it, I make it very big first. Here I'm making some of the feathers I'm going to put on its head, and sketching out the body. This creature I honestly adore. It's so adorable once it's finished. This bout of creatures was more adorable than the last one, due to me having pulled different things and stuff. I'm currently finishing up recording the 4th one, because this is, I had to double check because I labeled the bag video 3 since I didn't have the first Aizere creatures in a bag. Well, not the cards in a bag. I had to sort them. Even though I only have a combination of 4 bags, I am planning to do more of these in the future. I'm gonna pull different things, figure out different combinations, do other stuff, maybe even do some just from scratch, like that I made in my head. Not entirely sure, but I promise you, even once these 4 bags have run out, there will still be more of these. Do not worry about that. And I'm pretty sure once I finish getting these all out, I'm going to start going back into the animations. But right now, I can't right now. Well, I can, but it's a bit of a pain right now since Flip a Clip is being a bit difficult again. This isn't the first time this happened, but I'm sure it will resolve soon enough. If anyone knows why it would say that you don't have the premium thing, I have it solely to make it easier for editing, because otherwise you can't put in your own audios. Like, why? I need my audios, otherwise I don't know what I'm doing or where I am in the recording. So if anyone knows, has any idea why that happens, let a girl know. Just let me know. It'd be fun to know. So as soon as I get that resolved, which will probably be soon, at least probably before the month is done, honestly, maybe even before the week. And by the week, I mean next week, this day, the day that's published. Then there will probably be more animations coming out as I continue to work on other stuff as well. So I'd like to thank you for your patience and how slow animations have been recently. It's just a big mess, and I'm still doing stuff with family and friends. So again, thank you for your patience. Though, I must say, not to float my own boat, but I have been pumping out these videos lately. It's because I've been sitting down a lot and just going in, because I've had artistic bursts. Just like inspiration flung at me. Also, finally wrote down some stuff about them, because for these ones, I forgot to put what they are in the corner. I don't know if I already said this, but these guys are the frostflights. I really love them. They're adorable. They look so fluffy, and I really want to hug one. If I ever get a chance to make a plush of like a creature, this is the one that's getting made a plush of, because it just looks so fluffy. The next one, I have done 3 creatures from the next one. The 4th one I still haven't done, at least at the time of recording this, but I have plans, I think. No, what? Huh? I have done 3 of them, and all 3 of them are a bit... There's one that's a bit sillier, and 2 that are a bit different. It is going to be the twines, and the twines I love. They are adorable. You'll see them eventually, just not yet. And you also get the end bringers and the end guiders, which are super cool. It's like gonna be going into the like afterworld subject of this world, which I've yet to explore, but I'm very excited to. After I explore more into the death aspect and the afterlife aspect, I'm planning on going more into the geology, the mythology of the place, and then maybe expanding into the solar system for Freen's, Haynes, and Perry's stories, but I'm not entirely sure yet. What I'm planning personally is that there's going to be a bunch of mythology from here, and it will connect with the war somehow. It's going to be like a bunch of stuff going on. I'm going to try to make it interesting, because recently I've been seeing a bunch of stuff about making stories unique. So I think what makes a story stand out a lot is its inner workings. So I'm exploring the inner workings of this world right now. I'm exploring how the Ellerus runs, which is why this series was made. Like how the Ellerus runs, what is there, what's going on really, behind what we actually see through Piper's eyes. Fair warning, the book, it has always been being written as long as this channel has been going on. It is a third-person book. It is told from Piper's perspective. It's basically Piper's perspective, but it's not in first person. Third person, so you hear say Piper's name, the narrator. Because I wasn't sure how I could put that into the first person. So it's going to be all in third person, so just a fair warning, because I know some people aren't a huge fan of it. But personally, I have it there for a reason. It's to get a deeper dive into what we actually see, so we see beyond what just Piper sees. While that is fun, I'm also having her... It's going to be odd. You get to see more of the world around you, because Piper is more observant on specific things rather than a whole of things. Yeah. So, there's your warning about the book. Like I said, I'm very excited to be writing this book. It's so fun. I love exploring all these characters, and I can't wait to delve more into this world. This has been a dive into what the world really is. Like, all these creatures and how they survive in this war-hardened environment now. You especially see that impact in the Angers, since they weren't originally this war-toughened band of animals. As I explore them more and more, I understand more and more of them. These characters, they started as like simple concepts a bit ago, 3 years ago, in fact. 3 years, jeez. 3 years ago, and now they've grown and they're becoming more three-dimensional. A bunch of them are based off real people I know. Like Aizere, her looks and her personality. Their looks and personality are based off the person. Only aspects of it, though. So don't take a character you don't like and say that I don't like that person, please. It is a reflection of certain parts of them. Like, for one of them, I took my friend's creativeness and made that a key aspect of Hanala's character. For Aizere, I took my own humor, my dry humor, and made it an aspect of hers. Piper, however, is completely original, not based off anyone, so I don't know how she came to be. But yeah, only aspects are based off people, not fully, ever. It's like aspects of how they act or how they look. Mostly original characters, which are Anika. Well, no, the original characters that were based off someone would be the first ones that I ever made. They were based off my friends when I started making this book. They still are my friends, and they are amazing people. Well, back to this. So here, the Frostlights are finished. Sorry you had to listen to that rant. Next we have the Lurkers. They live underwater. They rarely leave this water, but they can. They are known to drown those who try to harm them, so they're very protective of who they are. What I really liked about this creature was a challenge for me, because I was trying to have shading a lot, which you'll see more in the coloring. I was trying to figure out how can I blend all these different aspects of all these creatures that don't have anything to do with water into a water creature. How can I make that happen? Oh, jeez, it's doing it again. Okay, sorry about that. So like I was saying, it was like 3 creatures that have nothing to do with the water. It was a rhino, I think? Rhino? I know it was a bunny, and, it was a camel, a bunny, and some insect. So here you can see I have a bunch of webs on it. What was that? I think it's a praying mantis it was also based off of, which you can't really tell, but it is there. This one I'm very proud of with all the little fins and things. What I based it off of was, I don't know. It was like, I like the shape, and I always associated it with waves, since often you can see waves drawn in that kind of style, like with the little swoopy. So that's how I came up with that. You can see, especially during here, how much change it really goes through, how it goes through in the process of making it, and how much I decided to change it. You can see here that I decided to make these things instead, and that I'm trying to play around with what I want to do. I was originally thinking, what if I made wings, like these wing things? And I was like, I don't like the shape, I don't feel like it goes well, so I ended up changing it to this shape, which I feel fits a lot better. You can see that the tail was there. I don't know what I was trying to say there. You can see that the fins are very prominent. It's supposed to be like to get it leverage in the water, to get it moving a bunch more. I had pulled from the stack that it was an underwater creature, so that was a huge challenge in making this. How could I make a series of animals that is virtually on land and not very rarely seen in the water, and make it a water-based creature? You can see here that I was starting with a light blue. This light blue ended up getting scrapped for purposes that will be revealed later. It was due to design elements and stuff like that. But you can see that, what am I trying to say? It's a very nice blue, I think. I like this blue, personally. With the fins were very fun to do, but they took forever. You'll see here in how it's sped up. This video was originally like 16 minutes long. This singular, whole thing of me making the lurkers was like 16 minutes. Well, more like 45 probably. I think before I sped all these videos up, it was about 84 minutes if I had not sped any of these videos up. Here you can see I'm starting to do the shading thing I was telling you about. The ombre. You can see I'm trying to struggle, where do I want to put this? You see I'm playing with where they are. You can see I'm putting them on a bunch of different fins, not just a singular fin. All of them are getting this treatment. You can see here that the back ones haven't, however, gotten this. At least not yet, but now they have, which will later be changed in how I'm making this. You can see I make it slowly more blue, and slowly darker. It's a more vibrant blue, and it's darker than what it was. What else you can see is that I was trying to experiment with how I wanted this to be and where I wanted everything to be. I was definitely playing around with how things were going, where things were going. This, the lurkers especially, brought out oh wow, I could play a lot more with this and figure more things out. The lurkers were very fun to experiment with color. Here you can see I'm thinking of making the wings ombre as well. The wings do end up being an ombre, but not of these colors. These colors, though, still are used for something else. They are used for the rest of the fins. As I said, they get progressively darker and more blue. then while I was making this, I realized that it doesn't really match, and that started to annoy me. I don't remember where it was exactly that I realized that it doesn't really match the rest of the color scheme, but I saw, and I'm like, this blue doesn't match. It doesn't stand out. It makes it all blend together too much. So you can see I'm now making it darker and trying to figure out what I want to do. My first thought was maybe if I make a gradient going darker, and so you can see I'm playing around with that before I blended all those out. Sorry. You can see that I've taken all these colors again and I'm blending them now. What I'm doing is I'm going to make the color for the wings and the little flippers on the little tiny fins on the tail. To combine those and make a more standoutish color. This color, however, they blend together very nicely and make a color that you notice, but it's more subtle and you don't notice it as much. So you can see I'm just going in and trying to make sure that it blends correctly in the way I want it to. You can see I am very much struggling with doing that. So I'm just taking it and I'm blurring it now. What am I doing? Oh, okay, now I see. So you can see that the first time I tried blurring it, it just became a mess. So then I managed to smudge it and get that color. So I had to check that it didn't match any other color. So then I erased that. I took that other blue, and mixed those two together. You can see that this is very sped up. I was not moving this fast. I was struggling to figure things out, connect things, and figure out how I wanted everything to be. Here is where I ran into the problem of these two blend too much. You can see that the first wing color and the main color match way too much. So then I had to experiment and play with different shades of blue, different colors of blue, and came upon this very nice gray with a nice blue undertone to make the main color for this lurker. It's hard to make commentary. So I just went in with that and continued doing all that. Lurker did pose many questions and challenges in my mind. Like, how am I going to do this? What is it going to look like? Somehow I managed to make it look pretty nice in my own opinion. I like how it turned out in the end, especially with what had to be combined to make this, and I feel like I'm saying a lot of the same. But yeah, so the lurkers were a very fun, interesting challenge for me. As I played with the different colors and how they blended together. I feel like this ombre especially was very fun to do, since I used to do this a bunch when I was creating other things. I used to love doing ombres, but after a while I just kind of had to stop doing it because I didn't have the time to draw a lot anymore, and I mostly drew traditional, so I didn't blend a lot. So doing this was very fun to play with again, since it really brought out what I used to do a bunch. Like a bunch of my old characters, which from like a while ago when I used to do some other things, I would use ombres all the time and however I could. It would take a long time, but it would end up looking very, very nice. So you can see here that I'm just playing around with everything and everything. So then I went in with the ombre on the tail, and I was trying to figure out how I could space it to make it look nice, since there was a lot less space than there was on the other things. Then I had to go in and I blended everything out, trying to make it all look nice, but it was very much annoying me. So as I went in on that, I just kind of colored it in, did what had to be done, just continued coloring, and blended things out, and finally just erased everything, and that's the finished lurker. And our final creature for this video, which took probably the longest to do, the Celtrines. These guys were so fun. While I was doing this, I was watching a show, so the pauses were probably me watching something, especially, definitely after during the frost fights, that was definitely what I was doing. because I was watching a mystery show for some reason. These are the Celtrines. They are able to be seen around celestial events and are kind and caring and hard to come by, but easy to befriend. Here they were a mix of a butterfly, pug, and elephant. You can see the pug in the ear, kinda, I think, and the face shape and the eye shape a bit. The butterfly, it's very clear wholly throughout. The whole thing, I was playing with the ears, and I'm like, what if I made the elephant ear, or a butterfly ear? But then I decided against it since it made the design too complicated. So then I just went in and I started tracing everything. I feel like this is probably my favorite of the bunch of them, though it took forever to make. And you'll see why it took forever to make, because I was very indecisive. While making this, I also had in mind, how can I add little details that are also in the books? In the books, the kingdom of Caldrine has a crescent moon as their crest. And the kingdom of Sahardia has a sun as its crest, which I played a little with there, since, from the perspective you start in, the Caldrians are the evil ones. But that changes, but I won't say how. So here you see I'm starting with a purple color, which you're probably thinking, how is this very celestial? You said it was, like, similar to celestial events, like, well, not, like, solstices, not solstices, though. Like, more like sunrise and sunset is what I was more aiming for when I was making this. So you're probably wondering how the purple fits into all that. Here again, you can see I've paused to watch some of my show. I'm so sorry. Though it was very interesting. Oh, it's doing the jumpy thing. It's doing the jump. I'm so sorry again. I don't know why it keeps doing this, but it does. But we're gonna work with it. It'll be fine. As long as it's not doing this the whole recording. So again, sorry about all the glitchiness. I don't know what's going on with it. But right here soon, like in a few seconds, it's starting back up again. So there we go. It's started back up again. I don't know why it's so glitchy, but I can't really go back and fix it now. Otherwise I'd have to redraw all this, which, you can't really do. That's the whole point of a speed paint. I'll try to figure this out soon, though. I promise. It seems that the whole system is glitching out a bunch, and I'm not sure why. It could be interference with something, but I hope the rest of the video isn't just like this, because that would be so bad. I am so sad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on, why it's doing this, why it's jumping around so much. It wasn't doing this last night when I recorded this. So, like I was saying, this was a very, very fun one to do. I love these guys since they're very unique, which I guess since it's frozen, you guys just get a surprise on what it looks like. Okay, sorry. My system looked like it was about to crash, so I had to look at it, and I decided I wasn't going to stop recording, and I'm not going to go back and fix it, because I don't feel like it, because this whole recording has been too long already. So, again, sorry about jumping around, but I went in, and you can see that I have these main colors. I took them all, blended them with each other, did a bunch of other stuff. I might cut the video here, maybe. Because the system's being weird, this is being weird. Thank you for your patience in all of this. I'm gonna check about the next videos that I've already recorded and make sure none of this nonsense is happening with it. Because this is very annoying on my end too. I'm so sorry about this. And if you're still sitting here listening to me talk about how annoying it is, thank you. for your patience and understanding and like not being bothered at what is happening right now. I'm also getting very like annoyed because my little audio system is ahead of the line. Oh, I had to move it for a second. But again, I started making two tails because I wanted it to be sunrise and sunset. You get to see a two-tail design again in the next video, as long as it turns out right. I really hope it does, because I spent a lot of time on that one. And you get to see the return of the clown face on an actual character. An official one that is actually going to be in the series, like that. I don't know how it'll play in yet, but I'm sure it will, because I also have a bunch of backstories prepared to make, that are going to be made into like shorter stories after the whole trilogy is made. I don't know if I ever said it, but it is going to be a trilogy of 3 books. Well, trilogy kind of states for itself. That's going to be 3 books, doesn't it? I don't think it's moving anytime soon. If you're still listening here to me ranting, again, thank you for everything. You can, if I know at the end of this, it still has the final product. I'm just kind of sitting here hoping that it starts moving again. If anyone knows how to label things in a video, like on YouTube, if you could tell me somehow, or wait, no, I can look it up. It's fine. I'll figure it out. So I hope everyone had a good New Year's. I personally had a lot of fun. I stayed up for a while doing some random stuff, making some stuff, doing this. Well, it wasn't late when I did this. It was pretty late in the afternoon when I did this, but again, I don't know why it's doing this. So you don't have to watch that. Here is the final version. Thank you for watching.